Hey besties, let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Wow. Emily says that there are 46% of the male incarcerations in the system, in prison, that are wrongfully convicted. That is like over, she said it's about 100,000 people. And most of them spend 14 years behind bars before their innocence is proven. Whew. The guy that the charity was for, I believe he did 10 years. Then we met two other guys. One did about 15 years, one did 20 years. I mean, can you imagine all that someone has to endure? Let's say going to jail when you did the crime, that's something to endure too. But at least you there because you did it. Can you imagine having to endure something that you didn't even do and being treated like nothing for so long, and you have to fight and do? I know some people give up, and their families and their friends and their mates give up. Some stick around, and the guy said something that was just profound. He said, I did 20 years. I didn't break. How did you not break? Like, how? Oh my God, support system strong. I mean, clearly, ooh, I can't imagine. And I know you get rewarded, you do this time, this fake time that wasn't yours. And of course, you're going to get the millions, but does it compensate for all the time lost? I mean, I'd rather heal rich than heal poor. Turn that around real quick, besties. Welcome, besties. You are now behind the shade, and thanks for joining me. I recap your favorite reality shows weekly. Now, baby, let's kiki and ha and get into another episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County, season 19, episode 14. Hoedown, throwdown. There was no throwdown because Tamra ran. Okay. But besties, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about tonight's episode. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, turn your notification bell on, and that way you'll know each and every time I post my content. Ciao. I'm loving how someone is making the executive decision to put some more depth, some more layers into these reality shows. I'm noticing this season, these new seasons, of Salt Lake City, Orange County, Potomac just started, but I'm sure we're going to get it with Potomac. We need more than just the mess. We want to see you at home with your families. How's it going with your kids, with your siblings, with your parents, your husband, your spouse? What do you do when you're not filming? Where do you work? What do what do you participate in? What are your hobbies? What are your charitable donations? What do you do with your time? We need more than just right? So we're getting into the families, you know, the humanitarian side of you. Love that. Love that. Okay, so the episode starts. How come we don't get an introduction? We don't get the taglines. We don't get none of that. Orange County just goes into it. I've noticed this is the second episode week, the second week that we just going straight in. Like what? So Emily is having a fundraiser. She's doing this for the exonerated guy, the exoneree, who she wants to help. She got him out of prison through her Innocent Center project, and he wants to go to school to be a mechanic, and so he's out. Goals just was on pause for. I think he did about 15 years, if I remember correctly, or 10 years, something like that. So She's going to raise money. She's going to have a hoedown, a Western line dancing, boots on the ground is what we call it on this side. And she's going to raise money for him so he can go to school and, like he said, take care of his mom. So clearly, being in prison has taken, time away from him to create a family, but we know he'll have one. Okay, cool. So her and Gretchen, Emily and Gretchen go to the Western hat store. They looking at cowboy hats. They was talking about making some, but okay, whatever. So they're gonna get it together, child. So then Tamra and Gina hook up, and Gina says she supports Tamra because it just seems like everyone is coming for her. And they are. Tamra is emotionally drained, she said. She said with Teddy fighting for her life, and then the last kid has gone off to college. She's in her feelings. She feels like no one cares about her. And so Gina says, yeah, I remember the last time you were feeling like this. You were having a very hard year. It was the year when Vicky was getting engaged to the guy. They didn't get married. I can't think of his name. He had kids and such, but they didn't get married. So she said, you were having a hard time then. And so Gina tells her that Emily loves her. She said, I know you're getting into it with everybody else, but Gina loves you, girl. But Tamra ain't going for it. She said, oh, yeah, she love me, right? But that's the same chick that told me that she don't trust me. She hurt my feelings. So Emily tells Gretchen that Tamra kept walking out of the rooms when she had her party last week. She said, oh, she was getting mad. We was telling the truth, being honest. She walked out like 5 times. I was like, that was weird. Tamara, where you getting this walking thing from? Girl, you better kick them people out your house. Child. Gretchen says Tamara is a narcissist and she gaslights you. She'll have you thinking that you're the one who's in the wrong when it's her that's in the wrong. And I'm like, yes, you clocked it. Absolutely. I just really hate after all these years, these two can't get it together. They can't mend. They just can't get it together. And I'm guessing maybe the true pain and drama is between Tamra and Slade. Ooh, child. Then Heather joins Gina and Tamara. They take their orders, they put their food, they get their food. And so Heather tells Tamara that, I love you. You my friend and I love you. Tamara's like, no, girl. Remember you said you don't trust me? Uh-huh. Friend. You said you was afraid of me? Yeah, some friend you are. So Heather's like, girl, I explained to you, but I'll explain it to you again. Oh, don't be condescending. I'm not being condescending. It's just that my explanation isn't ever good for you. Uh-huh. And so Heather said it in her confessional. She was like, how you gonna be mad at me for being honest? That's not a real friendship. I should be able to tell you the truth. You should be able to hear it and understand. We talk until we understand. So Tamara said, and y'all said all this in front of Gretchen. That's what makes it worse. Oh, so Heather's like the 18th time she had to apologize to Tamara. I'm sorry I hurt you. But she's using Slade to do her dirty work. You do know that. Uh-huh. So Emily tells Gretchen that Tamara wants to meet with Katie. And if she does, I'm gonna be mad at her because how she gonna do that? And she know how I feel about Katie. Katie didn't lie on my kids. Oh yeah, she gonna meet with Katie. Clock that T. We gonna have a problem. Oh, wow. Okay. So Gretchen tells Emily, well, she said, well, wait a minute. How does she know to go to Katie? Oh, so Gretchen is clocking it. So Emily, you're the beep stirrer. Yes, you. You are the S hit stirrer. That's what you do. I was like, yes, Gretchen, she is. Yes, that's exactly what she is. She carries the bones. She stirs the pot. She sure does. Yes, she does. And so oh, she said, and that she, she wasn't sure. I told you I wasn't sure that no, yeah, sorry, y'all. Gretchen is telling her no. Remember, I told you that I wasn't sure about that rumor. I wasn't sure if I believed it. You didn't hear me say that part? No, we didn't, Gretchen. We did not hear you. She said, no, I was only talking about the music. Slade, the one, girl. No, that's not how that went. You brought that up, and then y'all called Slade to get the tea because Heather wanted to hear the song, not the recording of Tamra and whoever from whatever group. Did they say somebody from 98 Degrees, but it wasn't Nick Lachey? Oh, I didn't hear nothing else about that, but we'll move on, okay? So Gretchen is backpedaling herself, So, okay, so Gretchen pulls out her phone. See, let me show you something. And Emily's like, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness." She says, "So what you're doing? You was what you did was defamatory." Gretchen is like, "No, no, let me show you." And so Emily is like, what is it now? You and Tamra, y'all both do this. What is it? Some article or is it somebody on a podcast talking? And child Gretchen and Emily go back and forth and back again. Honey, they gonna fall out. They keep snapping at each other. And so Emily, she gets up and leaves. She said, I ain't got time for this, girl. I don't. Goodbye. Because how I'm going to be arguing with you about somebody else's drama? This ain't even my fight to be fighting. So goodbye. So, honey, Shannon and Archie, the dog, Shannon and her dog Archie, they go over to Jen's house with her three dogs. So they go over there because they're gonna meet a dog psychic. This lady is gonna tell them what their dogs are saying to them, honey. I was like, I know that's right because mine be talking, but I know what she be saying. She's spoiled and she always wants something. So we find out, honey, that Archie wants a brother. I'm like, that dog is a senior citizen. Like, how old is Archie? He got to be almost 20. How old is Shannon's dog? He don't need, but the girl said, not a puppy, just another dog. And then Shannon was like, oh my God, that's going to be more poop. Because when they got to Jen's house, Archie pooped twice on her yard. And Shannon only had a bag. She was like, I don't have any more bags. Stop pooping. So she had to go clean up before she could even come in, honey. Child, I think Shannon, you should get a smaller dog. You don't need two labs, just get a smaller dog. Okay, so after that, Tamra and Katie checks in, honey, with each other. How you doing? How are you? I'm okay. You all right? I'm fine. How are you? I was fine yesterday, but I'm not fine today. But I'm gonna be fine after we talk. Hey, Katie, we ain't seen you in about 4 or 5 weeks. So Katie says she is hurt by Jen. And she said Jen been calling her and she will not answer her calls, honey. So Katie then apologizes to Tamra, and they both feel like they're the odd man out, you know, the odd men out. So what happened, Katie? Tell me everything. Start from the beginning. Don't forget. And you better not lie. You know, Katie be lying. So she pretty much said Gretchen lied and said that over you gave her how would I, because I can't say the D rug word. Uh you just overly got her going and she was very out of it. Very, you know, I'm thinking of the word. Anyway, y'all know what she gave her too much. She slipped her little Mickey. How about that? Okay. She's like, oh goodness. And she says, Slade told me to stick to the story, don't waver. And she was like, you know what? And when he did that, that was the nail in the coffin for me. And so Katie was trying to cover up for Gretchen and Slade, cover up the lies. So Tamara's like, what? She is like, she cannot believe it. She is like, wait a minute. They blame me for the same stuff, the exact same things that they do to me. And I was like, yeah, they do. It's kind of like Gretchen and Tamara are almost the same person. Oh, goodness. So we go over there with Heather. She's speaking at the Trevor Project. And I think we are familiar with this fundraiser, this foundation. She's been a part of this foundation for 10 years. She found out about them through her daughter. They help children in crisis who are in the alphabet community because I think Katharina is in the alphabet community. And so she's speaking and they're selling, some great looking, wonderful cookies. And Heather and Terry donate $50,000 to this charity. Very good work. So Emily is at home with the Innocent Project director, and then they have two exonerees come over. And this is what I'm telling y'all, one guy did 10 years, one did 20 years for something that they didn't do. The one guy was saying how, the proof was he wasn't even in the same city. He was somewhere else in a whole different place. And he was like, how can I be in two places at once? And he was the one that was saying how they poke at your innocence until they can prove that you're guilty. Yeah. So they're out looking like they are just happy to have their freedom. And they're going to be rich. We're looking at two millionaires. And I just can't believe that you guys they can just do all that time for something they didn't do. But they going to get paid. And they'll be able to live and be fine. And they'll be able to do everything they wanted to do, child. So it's the day of Emily's fundraiser. So we see a montage of everyone at home getting ready for the Western, getting their gear together. And honey, I have to say, Shannon's duster, baby, that thing was nice. Yes, Shannon, yes. And honey, Gretchen's boots was bad to the bone, honey. And everybody looked good in their cowboy hats. And then Shane wouldn't wear one. Emily was mad about he got on some Vans and a plaid shirt. Well, Eddie wasn't dressed up either. He had on a plaid shirt and a blazer. So they was like, I ain't wearing all that mess. So at Gretchen's house, honey, I can't believe she is still in that same townhouse. For all these years, she is in that same house, that little old house with Slade. So she's talking to Slade and she's concerned about seeing Tamra. Oh my goodness, will Eddie be there? Will Slade be there? Yes, Eddie coming, girl. And so Slade gonna say, well, on behalf of the men, we do not respect Eddie because he lets her say and do whatever she wants. And it's like, this is true. He can't control Tamara. He be trying. Sometimes he can. So everyone shows up, and a former housewife is there. Hey, Elizabeth. She's there. She says, what's up? How y'all doing? What's going on? Okay. And later on, Tamara was giving her the update. You could tell Tamara was like, I don't like Gretchen. I don't like her. She don't like me. I can't stand her. Me and her, all right. Heather on probation with my friendship. Yeah, and Shannon, she was just giving her the rundown. So Emily tells Jen that Tamara met with Katie and Heather was nearby listening, just over there, just paying attention and just ear hustling. So Emily and Tamara met the day before. And so Emily tells Tamara, and this is why I can't trust you. Look what you be doing. And so Jen asked Tamara about it. And so Tamara was like, meeting Katie, it went well. I feel validated. Okay. She told me some things about Slade. I said, validated? You ain't no car. You feel validated. That do sound like some gaslighting. So she says, but I don't feel comfortable talking about it because you're friends with Gretchen. Talking to Jen. So then Tamara believes Gretchen and Jen set Katie up. And now that Katie's not sticking up for them anymore, she can come forth and tell the truth. And so now here comes Gretchen and Slade. They do look good together. They both look great in black. And Gretchen's outfit was cute, and Slade looked good in his hat. They look cute together. I ain't gonna lie. They're a handsome couple. So Gretchen and Emily made up. They said, Emily was like, are we just going to be mad? Or can she just come to my fundraiser and spend some of that money? But production didn't tell us how much everybody donated. I was like, what about the others? We'll get to that. So Emily told Gretchen that Tamra and Katie met. Gretchen's like, oh, she did? Oh, so she went over there, somebody she don't even like. She can't stand her, but then she gonna go get some intel on me now. Okay, clock that. Shannon's like, oh, she's so obsessed with you, Gretchen. Shannon, shut up. So, baby, the fundraiser begins, honey. Speeches are being spoken. The line dance instructor is trying to teach them how to do it. It almost looked like they was doing the electric slide without going backwards. Gretchen can't keep up because the smoke machine got too much smoke coming out. She can't see the instructor no more. More drinks are being poured and the money is coming in, honey. Gina and Travis donates $5,000 from their nonprofit or their foundation or whatever. They did it that way so they can write it off. And then she trying to get her little shine. And then here come Terry. Excuse me, yes, we'll go ahead and we'll match them. Gina had me cracking up in her confessional because she was like, excuse me, Terry, let a sister have her moment, please. Golly, put your paddle down. And she was like, oh, he matched me good. She said, oh, I thought he was going to try to up me and be like, 6,000. Like, Gina, this is not an auction. Cute. So I'm like, okay, well, what about Eddie and Tamara? What about Slade and Gretchen? What about Ryan and Jen? What about how much did Shannon donate? We want to know. Well, at least I want to know. She made some money too. 40, what was it? $41,595. I was like, how did you get $95? How come it's not 42? Never mind. How come it's just not 41,600? Who? Never mind. Okay. I know how it happened. It probably was a lot of $75 because it was a full event. It was a lot of people at this event, y'all. It was a full house. So I bet you it was some $75 and somebody probably gave $20. And that's how it got to 95 on the end. I wanted to know. I had to figure it out, okay? Because I'm like, how did it get to that number? Okay, so here come the drum. Here come the stuff, right? So where did I leave off at? Okay. So Jen goes and tells Slade and Gretchen what Tamara said. Gretchen tells Shannon, oh, let me go get Slade because we got to go talk to Tamara because she got Slade's name all in her mouth. Shannon's like, oh, wait, no, don't go talk to her. Go by yourself. Don't take Slade. She didn't listen. She said, no, she the one talking about him. So I'm going to go get him. Okay. So Emily is asking Tamara, how can we move on from this situation? Tamara says, we can't. Gretchen and Slade walks up to Tamara softly and, Gretchen speaks and she's like, hi. Tamara looks, she said, no, it's not happening. Because she was just telling Emily, I would love to get up there and line dance, but I'm not going nowhere near Gretchen. I'm not doing it. So the Christian, the devout Christian Gretchen is saying after Tamra, run, B, run. Run for your life. I'm like, oh, girl, you are sure activated. You sure wasn't saying nothing when Tamra was all up in your face with them two middle fingers spitting all in your face. You didn't tell her to run for her life when she walked out of that tactical practice. Uh-huh. Gretchen says, yeah, when you run off, that means you're guilty. So Tamara's outside crying to Eddie. They just beat up on me and talk about me and they antagonize me. And he was like, yeah, baby. She said, it's just childish. He said, yeah, I agree. And she gonna tell him, well, I wish you didn't flip them off because that's childish too. Wait a minute, girl. You in a mess and your man is supporting you and being there for you and you fussing at him about something you did 2 weeks ago. You're telling him not to flip them off. And y'all, I rewound the the tape back. I'm like, I didn't see Eddie throwing up his middle fingers. They didn't show it. But it was like I wasted time rewinding the show just to see it, and it wasn't there. And I'm sitting here like, yep, that's exactly how Gretchen describes Tamra. She get mad at you for the stuff you do, but when she does it, it's okay. Now, at the tactical practice, Tamra is up in Gretchen's face, two fingers all up in her face. She flipping the flip. She double flipping. Walked out, came back, told the girls she was inviting them to her floral house, the floral party at her house. Told Gretchen, well, B, you can't come because you haven't changed. And now you gonna tell Eddie he's childish for doing the same thing you just did? Narcissistic. Gretchen is right. So Eddie apologizes. Emily comes out. Oh my gosh, she shouldn't have done that. She was just so aggressive. And they're like, well, who us? And said, no, them. Like, Eddie said, yeah, because Slade is a beep. And Tamara's like, yeah, they are trash. And you know what I do with trash? Take it to the garbage. And so inside, Gretchen is like, well, why can't Tamara say what she wants to say about Slade, but he can't address it with her? So production asks Gretchen, why does Slade love to get involved? He doesn't. He doesn't even want to be involved. He doesn't want them, he doesn't want to be involved, but when they bring his name up, then that's when he wants to talk. So, honey, Emily goes back in. She tells Gretchen that they came to Tamra, they was too aggressive. Too aggressive. So, honey, now Emily and Gretchen going back and forth and back. They are hollering and screaming. Emily says, stop screaming at me. And all you hear Gretchen is a Slade this, Slade that, Slade said, and she said, keep Slade. It's not, then she screamed, it's not about Slade. And it kind of like, what? It was some special effects. And so Emily was like, hey, let's have some peace and quiet and in this foundation. I just made almost $42,000 for this dude. Let's not blow it, okay? And so Slade then, he just says, hey, all I got to tell you is, Tamra, keep my name out your mouth, and then there won't be no problems. Okay? And besties, that was the end of the episode. It was good. I don't think I rated it, huh? It was a good 8. It was a good 8.5. I ain't gonna lie. But besties, you know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, notification bell. And I'll be back with another recap. Bell Collective and the Braxton start tomorrow. I'll be back, child. It'll be a double either tomorrow or Saturday. Bye, besties.